Hi, good evening. It's evening for me. A few days ago, I have received this in the mail. This is a Chinese replica of the Adafruit motor shield for the Arduino Uno version 1. I bought this from banggood.com. I paid $3.40 for it, delivered, very cheap. I was very excited to get this in the mail, but there's a few issues that I have with it. And I'm going to take care of those issues right now. Let me show you. So here's the motor shield. It looks nice. It looks clean actually. The etching on it is very nice. There was no brand on the website when I bought it, but here it says DK Electronics. I looked it up. It doesn't seem like this company does a whole lot, but this particular motor shield comes up a lot. There's been issues with it, not with the hardware itself, but with the libraries. And basically, I think what's happening is, I have not tried it myself yet, but I think what's happening is the folks have been trying to use the Adafruit libraries on this shield. Which should work because it's the hardware is supposed to be equivalent, but this model, the version 1, has been discontinued by Adafruit. They came out with the version 2 and now version 2.3 of this motor shield, and they have upgraded their libraries, and folks are trying to use the upgraded libraries on this with this motor shield, and that seems to be causing a problem. Okay, briefly, here's what's on this board. So there are three chips on there. These two are 2 H bridges, and this one is a what is that? It's a SN74. That's a shift register. So this is the brains of the operation there. Apart from that, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electrolytic capacitors. 1, 2, 3 multi-layer ceramic capacitors. There are 1 and 2 resistors. There's an LED in there, and there's this guy here right there. So this is a this is a 10-pin resistor array. So I had to look this up to see, you can't really, there's no marking on it, so there's just a number, and it's on this side. It's hard to read, but it's made by Panasonic, and it doesn't even say Panasonic on it, but the number is a Panasonic number. And I don't know the details of this component, but of the array, but so this is a resistor network. Apart from that, there's a button. There's connectors, there's pin headers, and that's about it. So not very complicated. When I got it, the electrolytic capacitors were bent, so I had to bring them back. And here's what bothers me. Here's the problem that I'm having with this. It's pretty clear right there. This pin header there is crooked. If I remove the sleeve there, this pin header is crooked, so that's weird. It was, I can't think of a machine doing this, so this was not a pick and place machine that did that. It was probably soldered by hand. This connector there is not straight with the board. These 2 connectors there, this second one here seems to be, bent this way. And really the worst part is the button. So from the top it looks okay. From this side it doesn't look so bad. From this side, look at this. It doesn't even look like it's seated all the way. It is connected. The lead goes through the hole and it's soldered, but it doesn't look like it's seated all the way. So it looks like poorly made. And if I remove this foam, so one of the pins, this pin right there, was bent. It was almost horizontal. I pushed it back carefully, and there's one more thing. Where is it? It's this one here. See how these pin headers line up nicely. Well, these ones there, they don't line up nicely. This set there is leaning towards the outside. So I tried it in the Arduino and it fits in. I have to wiggle it in, it fits in, but I have to force it, and I don't like that. So I like the idea of paying $3.40 for this, which is equivalent to the $20 Adafruit version of it. Although we should, Adafruit, they do good work and we should support them. But when I can, when it's appropriate, I get the cheaper version. What I'm not okay with is that it looks cheap. I don't want it to look cheap. This is going to be on a robot, and there's going to be people seeing this. And I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm using inexpensive components. I just don't want them to look bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resolder these things. I'm going to just put some heat on there, reseat this in, push it in, cut the leads, and put some heat on there, put it straight, and same thing there. The 8 pins there, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. That's a lot of metal. So what I'll probably end up doing is grab a heat sink. I'll just put a heat sink on there to protect it, something like, yeah, that's about right. And these two are not protected. I can use that sleeve, maybe. There's metal inside of that. Dissipate some more heat, like this. And then with the iron, I can put some heat on there and hopefully make all of these this solder wet and bend the whole header back in place. Not bend it, but make it straight with the other one. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and so I got everything I need here. I have my cookies and milk. I have my new soldering station, brand new, first time I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use probably need the desoldering sucker with some desoldering braid, some solder, what else, some snips, maybe I'll be using the tweezers, and my fingers. So let's get to it. there we go, all done. It only took a few minutes. And so let me show you here. The button is now nicely seated as it should have been all along. The pin header there with the yellow sleeve, it's now nice and straight. All the connectors, I actually went all the way around and I straightened everything, so now they're all straight with the board. So nicely done there. And finally, these pin headers at the bottom, they're all nice and straight. And here we go. Now this $3.40 shield looks just as nice as the $20 version. I don't know if it works as nice. I'm going to find out pretty soon. But at least I won't be embarrassed to put it on my equipment and let people see it. It wasn't expensive and they don't need to know. So take care. See you next time.